and welcome back to our guest bedroom. So when we first moved in, we decorated this space as a guest bedroom with just things that we really already had or things that I had collected and found. And this is the room and the space that I would love to transform into two things. Not only still a guest bedroom, but also a nursery, because this room is pretty large. During the holidays, we fit not only the king bed that was in here already, but also a queen air mattress on the floor for family. So I'm really wanting to turn this entire area over here with all the windows into the nursery, because it's like a little jut out, this addition to the room. I don't think it's utilizing the space really well. The previous owners had built these like built-ins, this wardrobe into it. So it's got drawers and it's got all of this space here, which I think for someone, you know, living in this room, needing a bigger wardrobe, a place to put clothes and things, it's quite nice. But it creates this like large dead space right here in the center. And for us, we were just using it for storage. It was not planned well. It was just like things were just thrown in. So over the last week and a half or so, I've been actually reorganizing and cleaning out this cabinet and putting all of the stuff that I had in there properly in a different storage unit that we built in Romeo's office, which has given us a lot more planned storage. What I'm thinking is we're gonna tear this out. By removing this, it's gonna open up so much space to put the crib and a changing table, dresser situation, a rocking chair or glider. I have a lot of ideas and a lot of inspiration that I've kind of been gathering for a while since we knew we were going to be having a baby boy. So because right now I'm in my second trimester, I have a lot of energy, I'm feeling really good. We want to tackle as much of the baby prepping and nesting stage as possible while I'm feeling really good. So the first step is the nursery, although I know that we will have the baby downstairs with us and we really won't use the nursery for the first few months after he's born. But the odds of me having time to design and dedicate to a nursery after the baby gets here is very slim. So we're taking the opportunity now. So I found these were just covered with little stickers, and I found the screws here. So I'm thinking it's that and then also kind of screwed to the sides. So yeah, I knew it wasn't permanent. It was something that was added, right? So the key to demoing anything is just to figure out how it was done. Yeah. If you, like, for me, like doing the cottage, I had to work smarter, not harder, because I didn't have like the upper body strength that like guys in HGTV go in and like demo stuff.
You have upper body strength.
Well,
you're strong.
Okay. But I didn't want to damage anything either. So I wanted to salvage everything. So in order to do that, I had to think about how and figure out how things were made. So I found all the supportive screws, like what was structural, what was holding it together, and we just slid it out. Not too bad for a day's work. We got everything out. So now we have to do some major wall repair. And I also found 2 plugs. Fingers crossed they work. I mean, I could always fix them, but 2 plugs is a game changer, because I was worried about how I was going to get some things in here, like the baby cam and like a shusher and just like things back here. I think what this originally probably was, this area, was a seating area in this room, and then they just adapted to what they needed, which makes sense. They needed a more clothing storage, a wardrobe. So one more thing that I'd like to demo out of this space are the shutters. Now I love a shutter look, But something about these aren't working in this space because the windows are so close together. So like, it's like they overlap, you know? And so I kind of have to shove one back and then open the other one. This one never stays open. They're just a lot. It's taking up too much space, and they're not done too well. I mean, the shutter box sits out past the windowsill. It's not finished out very well. I'm not loving these in this space. But maybe we could use the shutters for something different. I don't know. Who knows what we could use them for? See if I can do this very gently so that I don't mess up the trim around the windows. That's the goal here. We do the small one first. And then we can come back with just curtains. I'm thinking like Roman shades or something with a blackout backing that, you know, we can have like the darkness for the baby when we need it. This always makes me nervous. Gently. Definitely just nailed in, so that's good. Oh, nice. Okay, it's coming out. Cool. Just nailed in. Without the shutters, it even feels so much bigger. They were very intrusive, the shutters. I just don't know. It just didn't, it didn't add to the space. It closed it off even more. It's a cozy rainy day today, so I wanted to talk to you guys about the inspiration for the nursery. So we are having a baby boy, and I don't want to play it safe. I want to have fun. I don't want it to be neutral or gender neutral, or, you know, we can always change paint colors and things and evolve as we need the space to change, or he has likes that he likes. But I do want to start off with a theme because I feel like it just helps kind of guide my design direction. So I've been thinking for a couple of months about what I would like the nursery to be, or what theme we would use. And I was looking at pretty much all the themes that were out there, trying to get inspiration from what other people have done in their nursery. And I remembered a conversation that Romeo and I had when we were in our first year of college. And he told me that he wanted to study or take some classes on astronomy because he loved space. And I remembered that conversation, and I was like, I wonder if there's some sort of theme I can do around space. I obviously know that other people have done space themed, maybe more NASA or more baby boy kind of look. I was like, but how could I take the space theme and the idea of it and make it really like level it up and make it not cheesy in any way, make it really purposeful, and use it in the right way. So I set out on a mission to find any inspiration that I could, and I couldn't find a lot, but I think that this might give you an idea of what kind of like what's going on in my head. So I started a board on Pinterest. I'm kind of obsessed. It's somewhere between baby boy space, toddler space themed, and like more celestial. It sounds wrong coming out of my mouth. It's, you know, like more maybe a zodiac and astrology kind of realm. So I kind of looked in both areas, and I did find some pictures that were really, really beautiful, because I really want to tie the space theme into our style that exists today. More vintage, more collected, moody, of course. You know, I love moody, but making it still a calming space and happy. So we're kind of playing with all of those different things. So I found a few pictures that I absolutely love. So this picture is of probably a baby boy's room, that he's more of a toddler. And this, I loved the galaxy. This was my favorite galaxy wall that I found. I think I love it really does look somewhat real, and almost like the Milky Way in the center. I love the randomness of the dots making the stars instead of it just being like stars on a wall and being super planned. And I mean, look how cute this little boy is. Like, look how cute that is. I love the moon. I think that what really makes a space feel really designed and really purposeful is when you don't duplicate things like items, like say the moon, you don't duplicate them more times than they exist in real life. So there's only one moon. Themes could go overboard when you incorporate too many of the same thing when it doesn't really make sense in real life. It doesn't exist in real life. So like the moon, like I would want, if I do a moon, I want one, and I want it to be really powerful. And I love this. I don't get the bear. It may be like some kind of theme that I don't know about. The bear holding the string to the moon. It's cute, but I don't want to incorporate the bear. And see, these stars look more like, you know, like too perfect almost. And I feel like a galaxy and stars look more like dots. This little boy is so cute. The ladder is epic. I'm on a hunt for some kind of ladder aspect. See, the moon is beautiful, you know, incorporating the moon in some way on the wall. And I love in this picture, I love the twinkle lights down at the bottom. I would love to do that kind of coming off the ladder underneath the crib, you know, to add like some light and stuff in the space. I know you'd have to pick it up and clean underneath it, and practicality of it all is probably not there, but it looks so cute. This is like halfway between being like a literal space and like, you know, kind of more playful. I just like the layers of textures a lot in this space. I love like the star and the moon pillows, and incorporating something like that into the space would be really cute. And then I found the perfect vibey picture. Now, these are all vibey pictures, but then I found the perfect picture that Romeo and I really, really loved, which was this one. And I don't even know if this is a kid's room. I have no idea. I don't know if it was a nursery or nothing. I think I saw a bigger picture of, oh yeah, here. So cute. I love the color of the wall, even though it's a little too light for what I want to go to, but I love the tone. I love the ladder, which was what I loved in the last picture that we looked at. And I love the moon pillow. I don't know where this is from, but I think I can make it. And I definitely want to do that DIY at some point during the makeover. It's so, look, the eyelashes, like long eyelashes. That's so cute. So we're definitely going to make that. I already know how to make a pom-pom for the little topper, just to have some fun elements, you know, like in the crib when it's not being used, or like maybe on the chair or something, because I want to bring a glider and a rocker into this space. That overall, that vibe, if I can create that environment in the nursery, I feel like it will be like a home run for what we really want for it. And then I was collecting some more like details, like thinking about little mobiles for above the crib. I saw some, like this one was super cute, but a little more playful, a little more baby, with the astronaut and the clouds. It was super cute. Oh, $150, wow. But it's probably handmade on Etsy. But there's also these that are more like celestial, like brass, which is really pretty. And maybe this is something that we can kind of DIY too, or find. I feel like this is too much. I also saw these super cute little ties for curtains, because I think I do want to incorporate a curtain element to kind of keep some privacy in the nursery from the guest bedroom. I thought maybe that might be a cool thing to incorporate too. So if we can take the space theme, make it more vintage, moody, but also calming and warm and a little bit brighter, and incorporate some of the vintage elements that we love, and make it just a really special, well-designed space, I feel like we're gonna really accomplish our goal. So you guys know I want to do a DIY galaxy paint feature in this cove. And I have two thoughts. It can either feel like we're completely in space, or it could feel like we're on Earth or on ground and the space is in the sky. So I'm kind of playing with and toying with like two different ideas, and my gut is telling me that it should feel like we're on Earth and it's up in the sky, because the last thing I want to do is make this whole space darker to do the galaxy and it feel kind of like a black hole. I don't want it to feel like that. I want it to feel like designer and like some sort of calmness in the sky. I'm thinking about adding a bottom like wall treatment, like beadboard, like we have in the cottage. I love wall treatment. I feel like it adds so much interest to a space, even though the space has a lot going on with the windows and it is a smaller footprint. I feel like adding that detail would create a natural like divide between the ground and the sky. It'll just help me kind of create that differentiation on the wall. So I know that the hardware stores carry sheets of beadboard.
Okay, they have the big sheets, so we are in luck. We need 3 sheets cut in half, and they're $27.98 a piece. So we can do the math on how much this project is going to cost.
We could have gotten the pre-cut versions that were only 32 inches tall, which I felt like was going to be too short in the space. Or we could have had the 4x8 sheets, so 4 foot by 8 foot, just cut in half so we could bring them home. So now I need to determine if 4 foot is the height that I want it. The reason I think I like it at 48 inches instead of cutting it down is because the crib height is 44. I want the line for the beadboard to be higher than the crib, because if it's lower, it's just kind of a distracting line, kind of messes with your line of sight. 44 is here. So if I cut it down any, once I add the trim on top and stuff, it's going to be below the crib height. I think we're going to keep it, which, hey, works in my favor because 1, I don't have to cut an additional cut straight, and 2, it's going to hide all of the kind of like imperfections in the wall. It's now going to cover that up. So I don't have to do some extra patching. This is actually going to be really good. So here's everything I'm going to be using in addition to the beadboard material. You're definitely going to need a jigsaw if you want to cut the pieces kind of like more freely in order to know where you're going to cut. I like an L ruler the best, a pencil, and a tape measure. And then to put it on the wall, you're going to need some wood glue because we want this to be permanent, and a nail gun for brad nails. I have 5/8 inch and an inch. I think either will work because these boards are only a 1/4 inch thick. Okay, so I did a tester one to wrap my head around what I was doing so that we can see if this is gonna, my measurements are okay here. Oh, yes. Yes. That looks pretty good. It just adds so much more character to the space, I think. And nail it into place. Okay, so that took a whole piece. I just had a little cut out there. So essentially how we do this is I just measure what I need to cut out, like a puzzle, pretty much. So we need another piece to go here to the corner. So I need 32 1/4, and I'm kind of cutting it a little shy because if it's too tight, I'm not gonna be able to put it in properly. There's a little bit of a gap. It's okay because we're also gonna caulk it, like around the edges. You're not gonna cut it perfectly. That's why you do all of these finishing touches. 32 1/4, I'll measure from this side. Oh, it's like right on a bead, literally right in the bead. 33 7/8, 14 1/2. Then I use my L ruler to like sketch it all out. So I know exactly the lines that I'm gonna follow, that I'm gonna cut out. This part here. So we're just cutting out like this kind of little square here. I'm gonna use my jigsaw because I have so much more control. So like around these little edges and things, and makes way less mess, and I can go ahead and cut it in the space. So after I use the jigsaw, it gets a little jagged around the edges, so I just take a piece of sandpaper with a pretty thick grit. This is 80. And I just kind of go over the edges, kind of getting off those fuzzies. moment of truth. Let's see if it fits. That was a lot of trial and error. I think I had to fit each piece at least twice, cut a little bit more off in certain places to get a good fit, because this looks so good. I mean, it covered all the imperfections in the wall, which is great. It's pretty raw right now, but I can see the vision. The beadboard was kind of the first layer. Now we have trim. I've got baseboards that match the rest of the room, and then also shoe molding, like a quarter round to go on the bottom. That finishes off the bottom edge, which we can do later. Also, I want to finish off the top edge, so I looked at some different trim options at the hardware store, and I really liked this one. It was like a pretty profile, not like too big, but not too small either. And it has a lip. You see this lip? So it's gonna be able to hook onto the top, go up the wall about a quarter inch, finish off the top edge like that. That's gonna look so good. But I'm all about making things easy on myself, and I'm not gonna add this trim yet. I'm gonna go ahead and paint up here because I don't have to really tape anything off. I don't have to edge it and be like super particular about it. The paint can just go all the way to the top of the beadboard, and then we can apply this and then be more particular about the paint when we paint the bottom. So I did all the patching work and sanded any old paint ridges smooth up on top. And I caulked as much as I could until I ran out of caulking. So I'm gonna have to get some more when we work on the bottom half, but I wanna focus on the top half. My plan is to hand paint a galaxy. So I essentially need at least 2 colors, if not maybe a little more, but I need the base coat. So let's talk paint for a second. Actually got a like fabric swatch because I've been looking at some gliders, rockers for in here because we want one. And I loved this stripe from Pottery Barn. I ordered the swatch so that I could see it with the paint. I loved this picture. It's more vintage, it's lighter in color, because the last thing I want is for this to feel like a black hole, and I don't want to do solid chalky black for the galaxy. I actually want it to be somewhat of, you're looking at the stars and you might be in a city, so it's a little bit brighter, if that makes sense. So the base color, I want to do more of a green blue, but I like this tone of this color, just I need it darker, like halfway between this and black, so to speak. So I picked up a few paint samples to kind of play with, and I did get a black just to kind of have like a base. This is ink black, so this is going to be the darkest of them in this space. This was Binary Star, which I felt like was kind of fitting, but it was more on the gray blue-green side. Then there were these 3 colors that were stages of the same color. Juniper Ash, Brooklyn, and Midnight in New York, which I thought were all really pretty. And this is the base color of that inspiration picture. So I was like, okay, let me grab all of these swatches so we can really see the darkness level, if this is the undertone that I really want. And then I got these two that were even more teal, which already I don't love, but we'll put them up here for fun. I always start with what I don't like, and it helps me to wheedle them down. So I know ink black is just too dark. It's gonna feel like a black hole. So I know that that one is out. These I already didn't like when I was putting up here because they're too teal. It went too much that direction. I need a little more blue, like an ashy blue in it. So Sophisticated Teal and Juniper Berries is out. So these look really good. I think that Juniper Ash is too light. So I'm gonna take it off. So we've got Brooklyn, Midnight in New York, and Binary Star. In the store, Romeo and I both loved Midnight in New York. It was like that undertone of green. It's dark enough, and it still has the blue-green undertone. I think this one's too gray. Yeah, and this one's like too light still. Midnight in New York is a winner. So that's gonna go on top, and then I don't want to leave the bottom white. I'm not a fan of white, and this looks really raw to me. Even we would have to paint it no matter what, even if we wanted to keep it white. But I'm always a fan of going a little warmer. So I picked up a few options, and I don't want to make a decision until we get this painted so that we can really see the colors. But I wanted to show you what I was kind of leaning towards. I want something that's going to complement the blue really well, obviously, and the fabric. And I'm kind of loving this smoked tan color. It's kind of hard because this is seafoam green right now. Because it's still in the darker scale, but it's warmer, and I think it will calm the darkness of the top really well. It is pouring down rain again today, but how good does this color look? So it's darker, so you can kind of see what it would look like almost at night in here, or like, you know, like when the sun's setting. Love this color. I am glad that I didn't go with black, so it's not super dark, and I think it's still dark enough to add the galaxy. So that is officially my project that I'm gonna start today. I have a combination of acrylic paint markers in different sizes. I'm gonna use some watered down white paint to kind of fleck and throw splotches on the wall to create more of a random looking star effect as well, and try and make the Milky Way. I have never painted a galaxy before. There's a first time for everything, and I'm really excited. And it's just paint. If I need to paint over it and start again, I can. So stay tuned, because we have so many DIYs that I'm going to be doing in the next episode. From the wall to a DIY pillow, to bringing in the furniture, painting the bottom, trimming it out. I think the vision's really going to come to life next episode. I mean, we made major progress in the foundation of this space, you know, trying to transform it from a wardrobe into a space for the nursery and giving it that character and finishing it out. So I will see you guys in 2 Sundays for the final makeover of our nursery. Bye guys. Wish me luck. It should be fun. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I'm really excited to try. You know, to just like, when do you ever get the opportunity to just throw paint on the wall? I don't know. I'm gonna do it today.